We apologize for this mistake. It's not my mistake. Again, it's the station's mistake. As I said before, we all make mistakes. As long as they're not intentional, we ask you to forgive us. Casinos, gambling, lottery tickets, playing cards. Do you condemn them? Do you condone them? Are they legal? Are they illegal? Well, what's your religious perspective? Are they lawful or are they forbidden in your faith or your religion? Well, let's hear. I want to share with you some comments today written by Dr. David Phillips, and this is, by the way, quoted from the New York Times newspaper in December 16th, 1997. He says, Dr. David Phillips says, he is a professor of sociology at the University of California in San Diego. He said that he examined death certificates in major gaming cities in the United States, Atlantic City, Las Vegas, and Reno, and found that suicide rates were up to 4 times higher than in comparably sized cities where gambling is not legal. Also, in the Kansas City Stars, and I'm quoting here on December 16th, 1997, the Las Vegas city of the gambling city of the world has the highest suicide rate in the nation. It recorded 497 suicide cases between 1989 and 1991, which is an average of 165 cases per year. Also, in the Kansas City Stars, it was an article written by Rick Alm, and I'm quoting here. He says, a study released last year by the researchers at the Harvard University estimates that 40,000 Missourians experienced a serious gambling problems during the past year. Well, that's one side of the story. What about the $200 million as a revenue the city can make because of gambling? So if you look at both sides, now who's right or who's wrong? Well, with me today, I have a guest. I'm honored to have Gary Whiting, and he is the vice chairman of the board of directors of the Voice of the Heartland, and this is a non-profit organization. And just to be fair, I'm going to try my best to invite the mayor of Park City, Mayor Dee Stewart, to this show. We're gonna do our best to invite her to this show. Hopefully, we can also have Gary and Dee speaking about the same issue, because it would be fair to have both of them, and we hear both perspectives. But today, I'm privileged and honored to have Gary with us here. Gary, good evening.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Before I ask any question, I know you are also a physician assistant, so
That's correct.
you're doing this as a volunteer, I'm sure, on the side.
Everybody involved in the organization is volunteer.
Right. Your organization, can you give us just information how you started and what do you guys do exactly?
Sure. Voices of the Heartland started in response to a proposal by the Park City City Council agreeing to work with the Iowa tribe of Nebraska and Kansas to establish or propose a casino in the Park City area. There were a number of citizens, quite a few number of citizens in the area of Park City that thought this would not be a good idea for our community, and so we have banded together and have attempted to raise awareness and to educate people about the dangers of casino, both the economic and social effects of that. And our hope is to persuade the citizens of South Central Kansas to oppose the expansion of casino gambling.
Now, November 30th, 2004, what happened?
On November 30th, 2004, Voices of the Heartland was officially organized.
Mm-hmm.
The decision by the Park City City Council had come at the first of the month in November of 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And we held a couple of meetings and chose a name on November 30th
Mm-hmm.
and selected our first board of directors. And we've been off and running ever since.
So most likely your organization is established to defeat having casinos in town or gambling overall?
We don't want to see any expansion of the gambling that already exists in the state of Kansas, which would mean we don't want to see a casino established in south central Kansas, especially in Park City or Wichita.
How many casinos we have in Kansas?
There are 4 operating casinos in Kansas, all in the northeast part of the state. They are all Indian casinos operating under the auspices of the Indian Gaming and Regulatory Act approved by the federal government. These casinos operate on Indian reservation land. The proposal for Park City was to move their casino from their reservation land to have a special dispensation called putting in trust land in the Park City area, which then would essentially become reservation, establishing a de facto sovereign nation within the city limits of Park City.
I want to ask you a political question, although Bob Knight is not with us. He might be watching.
Okay.
Now, I know Bob Knight was against casinos when he ran for governor 4 years ago, I think.
I think it was 2002.
2002, okay. So he was against casinos.
Yes, he has many statements.
So what happened?
Bob, I can only respond for what Bob said for himself, and that is that he had, at that time, honestly believed that position. Since then, he's seen the economics of casinos, and with the economic downturns and the need for more revenue, he's decided that that was a good thing. We think this is a terrific flip-flop, and we're very disappointed in he's taken this position.
Now, to actually build a casino, or maybe to have a casino, this is a very lengthy and complex process. I mean, it's very complicated, because first is you have to buy a land, you have to get the governor's approval, then you have to get local and state legislatures' approval, then you have to communicate or maybe get a statement or written approval by the State Department of Interior.
Yes, the process for establishing an Indian casino is quite lengthy.
Right.
They do first have to have land. They have to bring their proposal. The act, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, requires them to meet with the governor, negotiate a compact. Similar process with the Kickapoo-Sac Fox tribe in Wyandotte County took over a year and is yet to be approved by the legislature, which is the next step. Once that's approved, the whole thing needs to be submitted to the Department of Interior, and they have to agree to put the land in trust, and they have to approve the process. The compact also has to be approved by another organization, the exact name